Welcome back to the Jeremiah Show. My special guest today, joining me, if I think from San Francisco, is Eijiro Tsukada. He's an award-winning, innovative entrepreneur in the Japanese green tea and matcha industry. Along with Oki Hatta, Eijiro is the co-founder of World Matcha Incorporated, the creators of Cuzen Matcha machines. And since its launch in 2019, Eijiro and his team have dominated the Japanese market, becoming the leader in the matcha industry. And Eijiro and his business partner have set their sights on major growth now in the United States, continuing the passionate pursuit of making authentic, high quality matcha more accessible in homes, hotels, cafes, and restaurants near you everywhere. And in 2020, Eijiro launched Cuzen Matcha, an award-winning at-home matcha system that grinds organic, shade-grown tea leaves from Japan at the touch of a button, producing fresh matcha with a smooth, balanced flavor. And since then, it's been sold over 10,000 units worldwide. Wow. And this year, they launched a game changer for the hospitality industry, a commercial use matcha maker, Cuzen Matcha Maker Pro. If you think you know what matcha tastes like, you're probably wrong. Most likely you've had dried matcha leaves, and it's a whole other experience when you've tasted fresh Japanese matcha leaves ground to order and brewed through a Cuzen home matcha maker or Matcha Maker Pro. Welcome, Eijiro, to the show.
Hi, thank you for having me, Jeremiah.
Thank you for being here. We were talking off air, and you have been to the UK twice, to Japan twice, and back to the United States and everywhere in between in the last 30 days. I'm so glad that we got you grounded for a minute here so we could have a conversation about Cuisine Matcha.
Yeah, my schedule is just crazy these days, so
Was
I'm
I
happy to
right?
be here. Yeah,
Yeah, are you
yeah,
home in San Francisco?
yeah. I'm now, feel home at home. Yeah,
Yeah. Well, it's so nice to see you again. We got a
yeah,
chance just for the listeners. Ijiro and I had lunch in Santa Barbara not too long ago, so that was a lot
yeah.
of
A few
fun.
months ago. Yeah, it was fun. Yeah.
And watch out, Santa Barbara. Ijiro's coming. He's bringing Cuisine Matcha makers to the hospitality industry here. There are, I
Hmm.
think, over 500 restaurants in Santa Barbara. It's
Yeah,
just a
and the
great.
good news is finally we got a, NSF certified product, so which perfect for, hospitalities, restaurant,
Congratulations.
cafe. Yeah.
Share your love for matcha with us, Ijiro. Why do you
Mhm.
love matcha so much?
I like the way that I get the energy from matcha. It's always peaceful and a calm energy and then no spike like coffee. So I converted every day, caffeine from coffee to matcha about 10 years ago. And I like, you know, the way I'm living.
Hmm.
And I through the all the energy, positive energy that I get from matcha. And then also, you know, another good thing is that, you don't have the stain on teeth drinking matcha. Sometimes if you drink too much coffee, your teeth they turning to, brown, but that never happen. And matcha. And also, I think that your breath is nice, nicer, with the all the benefit of, green tea matcha. So I love it.
Why does it have those qualities where it's not that crash that you get off of coffee? What about the leaves,
Mhm. Yeah,
make
mhm. Yeah, so that is the magic of matcha, going through all the, shading process. So amazingly, but surprisingly, Japanese tea farmer invented a way to, cover entire tea plantation for like 3 weeks, before the harvest in order to intentionally block the sunlight because sunlight change L-theanine. It's the amide acid, and that L-theanine is something calm you down. But with the sunlight, tea leaf losing the L-theanine and then into catechin. So it's important to shut down those sunlight and so that, tea leaf naturally, can sustain more L-theanine. And thanks to L-theanine and, caffeine, you get a, dual, effect. No, on the one hand, L-theanine is gradually calm you down, and then at the same time, caffeine gradually push you up. So that why, the way you get the energy from matcha is more calm, more sustained, more longer lasting than, coffee's immediate, boost.
Right. That's so interesting. Yeah, I have coffee in the morning, and then before I know it, I've had two or three cups, and then I'm all jittery, and then I have that crash where I'm really like,
Yeah,
I
yeah.
gotta take a nap.
Yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
go up and down. So I really do like the benefits of the
Yeah.
matcha leaves and what you guys are
Mhm.
doing. What was your childhood like growing up in Japan, Ijiro?
Mhm. When I was a kid, I mean, 40 years ago, 50 years ago. Kidding. So, yeah,
Good memories?
yeah, good memory. Yeah, so I didn't drink matcha when I was a kid. Yeah, of course. Yeah. And I
You were
I
on
just
coffee
played.
then, right? You were drinking coffee
Yeah,
back then.
no, no coffee, no. And just I drank a lot of milk, and which I think that helped me, grow a lot. And I'm relatively big as a Japanese, and I play rugby, which is my favorite sport.
Okay.
So
I didn't know that
yeah.
about you.
Mhm.
Now, did you work at a farm at all, or how were you first introduced to matcha?
And so I introduced matcha about 15 years ago, and then when I started, managing the tea business for Suntory, which huge beverage company in Japan, where I was managing, oolong tea business for Japan market as well as green tea, business for Japan market. When I met matcha.
Mm. And so 2 decades at Centauri. That's amazing. It's a
Hmm.
huge global, especially if we're in the hospitality business, you know of Centauri,
Hmm.
a global beverage and wellness company in Japan.
Hmm.
What did you learn there that you now apply to your company?
So yeah, it's interestingly, but as a Japanese, we don't drink matcha regularly, surprisingly. But we drink more regular green tea, like a sencha. And
Hmm.
then matcha is a more special occasion drink,
Hmm.
like only for tea ceremony, or sometimes when we travel to Kyoto and want to have some traditional experience, we
Right.
drink matcha, but it's, I would say, once a year, that kind of thing. But
Sort of a
thanks
special
to,
occasion ceremony.
yeah, but thanks to my, you know, time, at Suntory when I'm managing, tea business, green tea business, and then I learn everything about matcha and tea, green tea. And then, yeah, matcha is I would say, mother of Japanese green tea. And then, when, tea was introduced in Japan, you know, tea was originally a medicine. I mean, ground, and then, it's eat rather than just drink at the moment. And then gradually, and then, but, if you eat tea leaves, it's really bitter. So I think the Japanese tea farmer invented a way how to ease those, bitterness by
Mhm.
shading the leaves. And then, shade plantation started about several hundred years ago in Japan. And Sennorikyu, it's a grand tea master in Japan, you know, they invented, a way for all the tea ceremony. And then but tea ceremony is limited to only the high class people, and not for, everybody. And then after that, another, person, Nagatani Soen, invented a way to how to make more accessible of, drinking tea culture in Japan. That happened almost 200 years ago. And then now, with Cuzen Matcha, I try to, how can I say, re-modernize or, make more accessible, even
Right.
those, special occasion matcha drink to more people or on all the occasion because, matcha has a lot of, health benefit and then which should be, you know, consumed every day, not only just
Right.
a year. Yeah, once a year.
So you're making it accessible and you're making it more common to just
Hmm.
as common as a cup of coffee or a cup of tea.
Yeah, yeah.
Can you Joe, can you remember, and if you
Hmm.
can, describe for me the moment when the light bulb went off above your head and you decided, hey, there's a niche here. There's a need for this,
Hmm.
and you decided to get into the matcha business. Do you remember
Hmm.
that moment that you decided this is what you
Yeah,
wanted to do?
actually, before starting this Kuze Matcha, I was running another matcha company in the States, which is Stormy Matcha. It's a matcha cafe in
Hmm.
San Francisco. The cafe still exists and it's a really great place. So if you are in the area, please visit Stormy Matcha in the Mission District in San Francisco. And then opened the cafe back in 2018. At the moment, matcha was gradually becoming popular and then taking a spot of, coffee. And then young generation, started drinking matcha in place of coffee. But, I had a feedback from, loyal customer, I mean, who come to my cafe almost every day. And then I asked him why he came to my cafe every day instead of buying matcha powder and then whisking matcha by yourself at home because making matcha at home is cheaper than drinking outside. But his answer was, he cannot make matcha drinks from powder because it requires some skills and all the preparation require, especially starting from pre-ground matcha powder because it's forming clumps easily. You need to break those clumps, and then after that, you got to need to whisk. So all that those labor intensive process, and then they are not confident in making a good quality matcha from powder. So that's why he came to my cafe every day. Then I had the idea maybe we need that kind of innovation or new device needed, just like a Nespresso did for the Nespresso allow people to make espresso drink at home
Right.
quite easily, right?
Right.
And then and then I was pretty much confident that more and more people want to drink matcha in place of coffee, and then why not those matcha system like Nespresso. And then now at the moment, 10 years ago, people had to come to cafe to get a good quality matcha. But people would want to drink matcha at home, at office, or hotels, everywhere. So, you know, we yeah, I decided, okay, there is no that kind of matcha system exists. So why not we are making, Nespresso system for matcha. So that's
Yeah.
why I started this journey. Yeah.
Well, you're a very, very smart man, but you chose a very challenging business. I kind of look at you like the modern day David versus Goliath. Like you're
Hmm.
taking on the almighty coffee bean with your matcha leaves,
Hmm.
and you aren't afraid of a good challenge, are you?
Can you say that question again?
I
So
said you aren't afraid of a good challenge, are you? You have no fear.
I I think I had some fear, but
Yeah.
I'm pretty much enjoying what I'm doing. And then, of course, I when I decided that I started this business, I mean, develop this new machine, I didn't have any experience in, developing those hardware machine. And then I did not know how, I can make, but I only knew some good friends who product designer and
Uh-huh.
also mechanical engineer, and they, taught me how I start this kind of hardware startup, how we should, develop those, product phase by phase. Yeah. So thanks to all the people around me who supporting me and this business, I learn a lot. And then, so far, we are doing okay. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I was going to ask you what kind of things did you have to take into consideration before you began the business? But I think you answered that. And then your challenges, my next
Mhm,
question was, what were some of the challenges? But it sounds like, you've got this great idea. There's a need for it in the market. You basically want
mhm,
to create a machine that is like what Nespresso is for coffee for matcha.
mhm,
Now
mhm,
you have to go out and source either through friends or designers how to put this machine together and how to not only did you build a machine to accomplish the goal that you set out to originally started with, you built this machine that is has won many awards. It's just beautiful. I want to encourage everybody to go to kuzenmatcha.com and look at this machine. You want this on your countertop. I've said that before. It's just
mhm.
beautiful.
Yeah. Mhm.
Um, have you had so then this leads to my next question is, have you faced challenges educating the world about matcha and the
Yeah,
benefits?
we have faced a number of challenges, especially the first challenge is you know, how to decide the specs or details, functions of matcha machine, because
Hmm.
there is no, prior product, and then there is no product like we can copy.
Right.
So we have to design everything, not only the physical design, but also the user experience, and then how, people are going to use this machine, and what function does the machine should have, and then what can be eliminated. And then I don't like a machine that has too much functional buttons, and then which just confusing a lot, right? And then so I want to, you know, this is not just matcha, but kuzen the ku means space, zen is zen. So I wanna make you know, zen space is a modern world, not only from drinking matcha, but from the design and from the experience. So, you know, our machine has a beautiful, circle, you know, window in the center of the machine, which those circle window is in the traditional tea ceremony room. So somebody might, associate those circle to those tea ceremony. And
Yeah.
then also the another important aspect of machine is the minimalism and then beautiness of, Japan coolness. And then so we have eliminated all the unnecessary button. It's only two button in, our original matcha maker. It's really beautiful. And then, you know, just water cup, place gently on cup in the machine, and then which is a start of the ritual, and then gently placing the you know cup on in the machine, and then press a button, and then soon you're noticing the you know matcha leaves being ground, and then you are sensing the freshly ground aroma is coming. So you can experience using your five senses, and then to it's all that nice modern day ritual. So
Yeah, if you told me what if you came to me and gave me that speech,
mm.
I'd be sold. It wouldn't be hard to convince me to not only get one, but to make it a
Mhm,
morning ritual. So I just
mhm,
wanted to brag a little bit about for you on your behalf the some of the awards that you've won. The Cuzen Matcha Maker has garnered numerous global awards, including a prestigious CES 2020 Innovation Awards honoree. The CES 2020 Innovation Awards is an annual program organized by Consumer Technology Association, the
mhm,
CTA, and it recognizes outstanding design and engineering in consumer technology products, such as the Cuzen Matcha Maker. These awards highlight products that exemplify innovation across 28 diverse categories, encompassing sustainability and technology to create a more sustainable future. So congratulations on that. And then you also got Time's Best Inventions of 2020 and the IF Design Award 2021 in
Mm-hmm.
Germany,
Mm-hmm.
and also the Good Design Award in 2021 in Japan. Just incredible. It's such a beautiful machine, and it's different. You pointed out something that we haven't talked about yet. In the very beginning, we talked about your customer who had come in and they had to use a powder, and it was a lot more complicated and it wasn't as fresh.
Mm-hmm.
There's a big difference with what you do in your machine, and your services. You use fresh matcha leaves grown in Japan, right? As
Mm-hmm.
part of, can you tell us a little bit more about that part of the business?
Yeah. Yeah. So, we use only organic high quality leaves coming from Japan. And then because, especially, when, matcha is, once it's ground and then powder, people really, difficult to associate, powder to
Hmm.
some produce. But, in our system, you put the actual leaves and inside the machine, and those leaves are ground into your cup, and then you're gonna take everything. So as an experience, you understand that, oh, I drinking this matcha from these leaves. So drinking matcha is eating entire leaves. So that why the quality is really matter,
Hmm.
especially the organic is really important. And also, if you use just too bitter, matcha, it tastes really bitter. So I knew that, matcha is the best. The one is a freshly ground. The second is the organic. The third one is high quality. High quality mean the L-theanine that I mentioned, the source of, calming effect. And also there are a lot of study around the combination intake of the L-theanine and the caffeine, not only bringing a calm energy, but also it's, you know, bringing more focus level. And also another benefit around L-theanine is, if you take L-theanine regularly, you get a lower risk of, type 2 diabetes, which
Oh.
suggests that lowering the risk of getting brain-related diseases. So that is from the Japanese, study. So L-theanine is really important, and then only high-quality Japanese matcha has high, L-theanine. So we use only those, shaded and then with a high level of, L-theanine and organic matcha, so that you can not only enjoy the taste, fresh aroma, but also can get those, health benefit coming from L-theanine.
You mentioned health benefits, but are there any others that would convince a coffee drinker to switch to matcha? What other health benefits does matcha provide?
Yeah.
The diabetes, I didn't know that. I had no idea. Had never heard that.
Mhm.
What are
Yeah,
some
of
other
course.
things?
Yeah, the most famous one is, I think, the antioxidant capacity. So yeah, matcha has been seen as a, you know, good source of, antioxidant, and then which has way more antioxidant capacity compared to other famous, antioxidant fruits. And that is one thing. And then, the sustain energy, calm energy, another thing, and the focus level, and then type 2 diabetes. There are so many, study around matcha or green tea.
Are all of your matcha leaves grown in Japan?
Um, I think that there are other, country in like, South Korea, China, and there are some also some in the Southeast Asia. They are producing matcha as well because
Hmm.
they use the same tea plant. But in Japan, there are more cultivar that is suitable for growing matcha, and then oh, yeah, green tea or oolong tea and black tea, they are coming from the same plant, Camellia sinensis. But of course, there are some difference, and then in Japan because of the the history of drinking matcha for such a long time.
Right.
Japanese, tea plant is, how can I say, improved in a way that, we enjoy those rich umami. But other area, I don't think they have those, cultivar good for matcha, maybe good for oolong tea or other type of tea. So even though those other countries can produce matcha, and then they are producing more in the near future because of this, high demand globally. But the Japanese matcha, yeah, has those, high quality L-theanine, which is, I think the unique point, which makes a difference from other, matcha.
A big part of your business at Cuzen Matcha is promoting sustainable practices. How do you achieve that, Eijiro?
Yeah, so when I designed this Cuzen Matcha system, I, did not use the pot system. Normally, Nespresso nor and also the Keurig, you use the plastic cup, and then capsule, and to make a shot of coffee. But every time you drink, you have to deal with the unnecessary plastic waste. So I don't like the idea. So I didn't apply those capsule system. Rather, we use the the tea bag. So how can I say 20 grams or 20 servings, bag, or 60 serving bag. So which means that we are producing only one plastic bag out of 60 cups. So,
Wow.
to contribute less, plastic waste. And that is the one thing. Another thing is, they're using only organic matcha is also contributing to the less, CO2, carbon, because, of course, under the organic, farming, tea farmer don't use all the no chemicals, right? And then no pesticides, no, chemical fertilizer. Instead, they use, only the organic, fertilizer, and then working together with the environment and the sun and the rain, and also utilizing the soil and then natural, groundwater, everything. They, make a ecosystem, natural ecosystem that, can, which allow tea plant to grow on those organic, circumstances, which producing much less, carbons. So, through those, using only the organic leaves is contributing to, those sustainable, goals.
That's so great. That's really great. How innovative. Okay, so let's talk about you've got some really great products here, and I want to make everyone aware of what we've been talking about this segment here with Eijiro. But go to kuzenmatcha.com and look at the various machines and for instance, the Matcha Maker Starter Kit. Could you briefly describe what the Matcha Maker Starter Kit is?
Yeah, matcha maker starter kit come with the original matcha maker, which is mostly for home use, and a single grinder system, and then one machine, and also the sample of our three matcha blends. One is the premium. A premium blend is using only the spring harvest matcha, has more umami, and then you can enjoy those umami taste. And because it's no bitter at all, you don't need to add any sugar or milk or anything. That is our premium blend. And then another brand is the signature brand. Signature brand is using both spring and summer harvest, and it has a really good balance day. So you can enjoy with sparkling water, or maybe you can, try matcha latte for those using the signature brand. And lastly, latte blend. Latte blend is for making matcha latte. It's relatively much bitter than other, two. But, those bitterness nicely standard when you mix with, milk. So that's why we name, latte blends. So you can try all these three different, our brands, and then decide which one you like, and
Hmm.
then you come to our website again to select our leaves for subscription. So yeah, of course you can buy one time, but subscription offer 15% discount. So you can select once a month or once every other month. So
Like a
if you
subscription.
yeah it's
Of
easy.
organic, yeah, you can't make it easier for us. Organic matcha leaf packets. After you've
Mhm,
decided what you really like, you can set it up as a subscription and use your matcha maker home machine. But
mhm,
this is exciting. Being in the hospitality business, I was really excited
mhm,
when I heard about the Cuzen Matcha Maker
mhm.
Pro. What are your plans for the Cuzen Matcha Maker Pro?
Yeah, Pro has, four grinder inside the machine, and basically two by two. One mill unit consists of two grinders, and which means that grinding faster than, our original machine. And then you have two outlets. So busy cafe, restaurant who need to, serve matcha drink faster, and then also the many, more than, single household, they can definitely utilizing this Pro system. And then this is not only for those, hospitality, but also the offices as well. And then, tech companies, and then or other financial company and might have some micro kitchens or break rooms where people now, drink a coffee. But it's nice, to have the about Matcha Maker Pro, and then where employee, can easily make our matcha, and then they making his or her own, matcha latte or sparkling matcha. And then no more, those employees don't need to go out to get the matcha cafe
Yeah.
outside. So,
Well,
reducing,
I brought in trainers to train
mhm,
staff at various restaurants on how to make
mhm,
a good cup of matcha.
mhm.
And it's what you described before. Typically, it's about an eight minute process. It would seem like
Yeah.
it would take quite a bit from beginning to end, and they would
Mhm,
use a lot of different things from the whisker to
mhm.
to the machine. It wasn't specifically designed to do what it
Yeah.
in these restaurants, and so that's why I really got excited by the Cuzen Matcha Maker Pro
Mhm,
because it really opens up a whole new world, and there are so many people
mhm.
that request matcha, fresh matcha, especially here in California. Um,
Yeah.
it's really with the health conscious
Mhm,
clientele. Another thing I love about this, and on your website, you've got great recipes, and we're running out of time, so we can't get into them, but I was hoping we could have. But go to the cuisinmatcha.com and check out the recipes. If you're a bartender listening right now to the show, you're always looking for new and unique ways and drinks, right, that make you stand out in your bar. There are some really great recipes for bartenders, things that you can use matcha in your drinks, and then for pastry chefs, dessert, great desserts with ice cream and on
mhm.
and on. So go to recipes on kuzinmatcha.com. And we got to say goodbye, unfortunately, Ijiro, but this has been really cool. What's your goal for Kuzin Matcha? And how do you give us your best pitch on how you would get someone to give up their morning coffee ritual and switch to matcha instead?
Mhm. So my goal is just to bring this, high quality matcha as many as possible to the globe. And then, yeah, so just, installing the more matcha machine to more, household or, more stores, cafes, restaurants, bars, offices, and which allow more people can easily, make, their own favorite matcha everyday life. And then definitely, supporting your health. And then also you can customize the way how you enjoy matcha. So it's n- not that difficult to continue this, good habit. So yeah, why not, start,
Why not?
why not start
And
your
you've made it very
new,
easy. You've made it very
yeah.
easy for us. So let me just say again, Kuzin Matcha is an innovative matcha system consisting of the matcha maker and the matcha leaf that produces remarkably fresh matcha from organic shade-grown matcha leaves in Japan, combined with innovative technology. Think of it, you said it best, I think, Eijiro, at the beginning. Think of it like an espresso machine for matcha. The freshly ground matcha boasts a smooth, balanced flavor, providing the drinker with a mellow, focused energy that lasts, making it a healthier alternative to coffee. And here is Ijiro is so kind and Cuzen Matcha to give us, to offer us listeners, you listeners, limited promotion exclusively for the Jeremiah Show listeners, $50 off discount on a matcha maker. Regular kit or gift kit, no refurbished machines, one machine per person. Here's how you get it. You go to cuzenmatcha.com /discount Jeremiah 50. And the code is Jeremiah 50. $50 off. These are really reasonably priced machines to have a beautiful matcha maker on your countertop in your kitchen. You're going to be the envy of all your neighbors and friends and family. Go to cuzenmatcha.com. Again, discount Jeremiah 50 to get $50 off your matcha maker. And follow Cuzen Matcha on Instagram at Cuzen Matcha. Eijiro, thank you so much for telling us about your ingenious invention and your company. It's really amazing, really inspiring.
Thank you so much for having me today.
Our pleasure, Cuzen Matcha. It's how I start my day. I talked about it on the last show. I make a nice cup of matcha with the fresh matcha leaves. And that starts my day. So coming up next, artisanal master baker, Bob Oswaks. Please don't go anywhere, except go to Cuzen Matcha, discount Jeremiah 50, get your Cuzen Matcha maker. Thanks again, Eijiro.
Thank you.